Okay guys, so cikgu actually sudah start kelas tadi, but then due to technical issue I had to restart. Now, bagi siapa yang tonton rakaman, those of you who are watching the recording, you're supposed to, sepatutnya dah habis 3 soalan objektif ini. These 3 objective questions are supposed to be done. So, siapa yang tonton rakaman, maybe you can pause now dan habiskan dulu. The 3 objective questions soalan sampai sini. Muka surat 1 dan 2, finish it. Then baru unpause, then boleh tonton lah. If you want to get this set, the link is in the description. Okay, for those who are watching recording, siapa yang tonton rakaman. Okay, come. So, Raja, sini ada satu motor arus terus. There's a direct current motor here. Okay, semua komponen dia. Apakah prinsip utama? What's the main principle? So, the main confusion here, kelas, dalam bab 6, dalam bab 4, okay, Raja selalu keliru antara motor dengan arus arohan, right? Induced current. Okay, so that is generator lah, penjana. Antara motor dan penjana. There is one very obvious clue lah. Yang lain, ya, komponen-komponen ni hampir sama actually. It's almost the same. Tapi ada satu perbezaan yang sangat ketara. There's one very obvious difference, which is power source, bekalan kuasa. Awak cuba cari bekalan kuasa dia. You try to find the power source. Jika ada bekalan kuasa, if you find a power source, direct current power source, arus terus, then itu adalah motor dan ini bukan arus arohan. It is not induced current. Because ada sesuatu yang bekalkan arus, betul tak? Right? Something is supplying the power, what? Something is supplying the current, what? Then it is not induced current lah. So di sini nampak ada sel kering kan? You can see there's a dry cell. So ada bekalan kuasa. There is a power source. That means ini bukan arus arohan. It's not induced current. Bukan. Okay? So what is the principle here? Apa yang akan berlaku apabila arus mengalir dalam konduktor? This one is the principle. When current flows in the conductor, what happens? Apa berlaku apabila arus mengalir dalam konduktor? This one is dawai lurus, straight wire, right? Okay. When current flows in the jangan lupa ni kelas, write it down, tulis. Tulis. When current flows in any conductor, apabila arus mengalir dalam mana-mana konduktor, akan ada medan magnet yang terbentuk di sekelilingnya. There will be a magnetic field form around it, isn't it? Ini konsep dia. Ini konsep dia. Don't forget the concept. Apabila arus mengalir dalam konduktor, when current flows in a conductor, there will be a magnetic field around it. Akan ada medan magnet yang terbentuk di sekelilingnya. A magnetic field will form. Okay. So, konduktor itu ada medan magnet dia. The conductor itself has a magnetic field. Then, the trick to motor. Okay, apa yang membuatkan motor berputar ialah, what makes the motor spin is, kita letakkan medan magnet ini dalam satu lagi medan magnet. You see another magnetic field? Right? Kita letakkan dia dalam medan magnet yang lain menggunakan magnet kekal, using your permanent magnet. Okay, so ada satu lagi medan magnet. Jadi sekarang ada dua medan magnet dalam ruang yang sama. There are two magnetic fields in the same space. Now, field lines cannot cross, class. Garis medan tak boleh bersilang tau. Whether it is magnetic field, medan magnet ke, medan elektrik ke, electric field, or whether it is gravitational field. Medan gravity pun sama. Garis medan tak boleh bersilang. They cannot overlap. Okay? They cannot overlap. So how? Dia akan berinteraksi dengan satu sama lain. They will interact with each other and they will form what we call a resultant magnetic field. Medan magnet paduan. Okay, we're going to learn about that. Nanti ada soalan seterusnya tentang yang tu kan? Yeah, okay. Okay. So, there will be question about that later. Nanti cikgu ajar macam mana untuk gabungkan dia. I teach you how to combine it later. Okay. So, this is the principle. Bila ada arus yang mengalir dalam konduktor, when there's a current flowing in the conductor, there will be a magnetic field form around it. Akan ada medan magnet yang terbentuk di sekeliling dia. Dan bila kita letak medan magnet ini dalam medan magnet yang lain, if you put it in another magnetic field, these two will interact. Dia akan berinteraksi dan membentuk medan magnet paduan, a resultant magnetic field. Inilah yang akan yang akan menghasilkan daya paduan. This is the thing that causes that forms the magnetic force actually, the resultant force. Huh? Okay. So apa jawapan yang paling sesuai di sini? Medan magnet yang berubah-ubah? No. A changing magnetic field induces a current. Yang berubah-ubah menghasilkan arus dalam gegelung. What is this? Anybody knows? Siapa yang ingat? Anybody remembers? Ini menerangkan apa? This explains what? A ini menerangkan apa? Think carefully. Changing magnetic field. Medan magnet yang berubah dalam syllabus kita satu tempat saja. Only one place in our syllabus. Changing magnetic field. Mana kita pernah nampak ni? Where have you seen this? Mana awak pernah nampak medan magnet yang berubah-ubah? Okay, never mind. This is transformer class. Ini adalah transformer. Huh? If your concept is not clear, awak nak belajar konsep dia kelas, you go and get flexi study. Pergi website cikgu, dapatkan SPM Flexi Study. Yang ini 7 hari akses, awak boleh akses semua topik, all the topics in Form 5. Dari bab 1 sampai bab 7, 7-day access is only RM25, RM25 saja. You can access everything dan belajar untuk 7 hari. Sebanyak yang awak nak. You can finish the syllabus in 7 days, RM25 boleh habis syllabus. Up to you. But that's not possible lah. Ha. Okay, pergi website cikgu, cari Flexi Study. It's right there. Alright, if you need to learn the concept. Okay. Yes, arus ulang alik transformer. Yes. Arus ulang alik yang menyebabkan medan magnet berubah-ubah. It is the uh, the alternating current that causes the magnetic field to change. Yang itu nanti cikgu akan buat soalan untuk 4.3 juga. I will do 4.3 question also. Later I will teach you more about that lah. Hari ini kita fokus 4.1. Okay. Alright. So arus dalam gegelung, the current in the coil produces a resistive heating, pemanasan rintangan dalam konduktor. Bukanlah. This one is what? Ini apa? This is untuk kerintangan tinggi lah, high resistivity. Right? Remember like your cerik electric kettle and all that. Okay? Pemanas lah, pemanas. It's heater. Okay, nothing to do with this. Okay, tengok. See, gegelung bergerak kerana daya memusat. Centripetal force lah. Nothing to do with that. Tak ada kena-mengena dengan daya memusat. Daya magnet, magnetic force. Yes, magnetic force. Daya magnet dikenakan ke atas gegelung on the coil due to interaction between current antara arus dan medan magnet. Not the best statement. Bukan kenyataan yang terbaik. Bukan yang paling tepat lah. But it's the best answer. Bukan interaksi antara arus dan medan magnet. Interaksi antara dua medan magnet. Okay? Macam cikgu terangkan tadi, like I explained. The most accurate answer will be due to interaction between the two magnetic fields. Medan magnet di sekeliling konduktor, the magnetic field around the conductor, the current carrying conductor, konduktor pembawa arus, dan medan magnet oleh magnet kekal, the magnetic field from the permanent magnet. Itu jawapan paling tepat. Faham Kan Okay, so jawapan dia D. Okay, now look at 33. This is a problem. So Raja 25 menunjukkan konduktor pembawa arus, current carrying conductor between a pair of permanent magnets, sepasang magnet kekal. So you always remember this class. Konduktor pembawa arus, you see current carrying conductor, automatically you must think, okay, ada medan magnet di sekeliling dia. There's a magnetic field around it. Automatic. Okay. As long as arus mengalir dalam konduktor, ada medan magnet. As long as current is flowing through the conductor, there's a magnetic field. Okay. And then you see antara sepasang magnet kekal, permanent magnet, another magnetic field. Medan magnet lain lagi satu. Automatic. Okay. Okay. So, arah daya ditentukan menggunakan, so which one do we use? Tiga ini yang paling mengelirukan. Right. Which one do we use? Okay. Let's see one by one. C. Another C. Okay. So, first of all, very good. Very good. Yes, very good. Answer. Salah tak apa. Cikgu boleh betulkan dalam kelas. By your answer, cikgu akan tahu apa yang awak tak faham. Okay? Daripada jawapan awak, cikgu tahu apa yang awak tak faham. So, I can help you. Tapi kalau awak diam saja, I cannot do anything. Okay? Answer. Salah tak apa. It's okay. Don't be shy. This is where you learn. Okay? Okay, come. Petua tangan kanan Fleming. So, Fleming got two lah. Fleming ada dua, kiri dan kanan. Okay. Now, let's look at C first. Tengok C dulu. Petua genggaman tangan kanan. Right hand grip rule. You know which one or not? Yang ni. This one. Your right hand. Kita genggam tangan kanan. You just grip your right hand like this. Right? Okay. So, genggaman tangan kanan untuk apa? Come. Let me give you my nota cikgu. Kita buat ulang kaji sikit. Where is my form 5? Okay, look at this. Nah, ini genggaman tangan kanan. Right hand grip rule. Okay, genggaman tangan kanan. Betul genggaman tangan kanan. Anak panah ini, this arrow represents mewakili arus. The current. Okay, anak panah mewakili arus. Okay. So, ibu jari kita, our thumb is the direction of the current, arah arus. Then, empat jari kita melengkung. Our four fingers are curving, right? So, arah lengkungan empat jari kita, the direction of curvature of the four fingers is the direction of the magnetic field. Arah medan magnet. Faham tak? Faham tak? Okay. So, untuk apa kita guna petua genggaman tangan kanan? What do we use the right hand grip rule for? Petua genggaman tangan kanan ini adalah is for to find the direction of the magnetic field around the current carrying conductor. Ini untuk mengenal pasti arah medan magnet di sekeliling konduktor pembawa arus. Yes. Faham tak? Understand or not? Okay. This is right hand grip rule. Okay. Lepas tu, we have inilah. Nah, ini semua nota yang cikgu bagi pelajar cikgu lah. If you join the Form 5 class or you get Flexi Study, this is the notes that you will get. Ini semua kosong tau, awak kena isi. You have to watch the class and then you have to fill it yourself. Kenapa cikgu buat macam ni? You will remember better. Awak akan ingat dengan lebih baik. Okay, anyway. So, this is the left hand rule. Petua tangan kiri Fleming. Fleming's left hand rule. FBI. Right? So, B mewakili arah medan magnet. Ini jari telunjuk kita, is your index finger. And then jari tengah ialah arah arus, the direction of the current. Arah arus. So, selepas kita selarikan jari kita, you arrange position your hand lah. Okay, kita laraskan kedudukan jari kita, ikut arah medan magnet, follow the direction of magnetic field, follow the direction of the current. Then the thumb will tell you what? Ibu jari akan memberitahu kita arah daya. Okay. So you must think class, what is missing? Apa yang tak ada? So when it comes to this topic, current carrying conductor, we put in a magnetic field by by permanent magnet. Magnet kekal menghasilkan medan magnet, kita letak konduktor pembawa arus. So dia akan berinteraksi dan menghasilkan daya. It will produce the force. Right? So, daya yang tak ada. It's the force that is missing. Correct or not? Daya yang tak ada. Arus memang kita tahu because we are supplying the current. You know where's the current. Magnet kita yang letak. You are the one who's putting the magnet. So, you know where is the direction of the magnetic field. Understand or not? Right? Medan magnet memang kita sentiasa tahu lah. Whether it's this or whether it's induced current. Arus arohan ke ini ke, it doesn't matter. Magnetic field is not the issue. The issue is sama ada kita nak menghasilkan daya atau arus. Whether you are trying to produce the force or you are trying to induce the current. That's all. Itu soalan dia. So, bila kita nak menghasilkan daya, when you want to produce force, then it's left hand, tangan kiri. Okay? Remember like that. Kalau kita nak menghasilkan daya, kalau kita nak menghasilkan gerakan, if you want to produce movement, left hand. Kalau kita nak menghasilkan arus elektrik, if you want to generate electricity, okay, that means induce current lah. Arus arohan kanan. Okay. Daya kiri, arus kanan. Force left, current right. Force left, current right. Okay? Right. So, this topic is, ini bukan arus aruhan kan? It's not induced current. Kita yang bekalkan arus. You know where the current is. Right? So, left hand. Fleming's left hand rule. Petua tangan kiri Fleming. Hand class? Boleh? Hmm. So, always remember. Right, kanan, induced current. Arus aruhan. Okay? Left, kiri, magnetic force. Daya magnet. Magnetic force. Daya magnet. Okay? Petua genggaman tangan kanan, arah medan magnet. Direction of the magnetic field around the conductor. Okay? This is your most confusing part lah untuk bab 4. Yang mana nak gunakan. Ha? Okay. Look at the next question, class. So, sekarang kita akan belajar macam mana untuk guna dia. How to use it. So, ini dari Selangor. Now, Raja 26, diagram 26 shows a current carrying conductor. Conductor pembawa arus yang diletakkan antara dua kutub magnet. Between two magnetic poles, as usual lah. Right? Okay, you look at this. Arus keluar. Arus keluar. Right? Very good. Current is coming out. Antara arah ABCD, what is the direction of motion? Mana arah gerakan for the conductor? Conductor ini akan gerak ke mana? Where will it move? So, again you must ask yourself, arus dia kita bekalkan atau kita arahkan? The current, are we supplying the current or is it induced? So, which is this? Dibekalkan ke diarahkan? Is it supplied or induced? Dah ada arus ke tak? Got current or not? Tengok Raja. Ada. Because conductor pembawa arus kan? Right, it's a current carrying conductor, isn't it? Already carrying current. Faham tak? That means kiri, left. Left. Bukan arus arohan. Not induced current. Left. Okay, come. Let's use this. So, semua pegang tangan kiri macam ni. Hold out your left hand like this. Right? Semua kena berserenjang antara satu sama lain. All the three fingers must be perpendicular to each other. Ketiga-tiga jari mesti berserenjang antara satu sama lain. Okay, magnetic field is which one? Jari telunjuk. Index finger. Mana arah dia? Magnetic field direction is always north to south. Utara ke selatan. So, this index finger down. Jari telunjuk bawah. Okay. Now, current. Jari tengah. Middle finger. Where do we point the middle finger? Kalau nampak titik macam ini, apa arah arus? What is the direction of the current? Keluar dari satah ke masuk ke dalam satah? Is it coming out of the plane or going in? Out or in? Keluar masuk. Very good. Very good. So, kalau awak nampak satu titik saja, you just remember anak panah. Anak panah. Okay. So, belakang dia, bulu pelepah dia, the feathers at the back is the X shape, bentuk pangkal lah. Depan sini ada satu hujung dia, satu titik, and then macam ni kan. So, kalau ini maksudnya kepala anak panah. That means it's coming out lah. Kan? Dia keluar lah, betul tak? Everybody okay? Any questions here? Kalau dia tulis macam ni, kalau dia lukis macam ni, dia draw like this, that means kita nampak belakang dia. You're looking at the back of the arrow. Faham tak? So uh, arus sedang masuk ke dalam satah, going into the plane. Kalau kita nampak satu titik saja, that means kita nampak kepala anak panah. You're looking at the head of the arrow, that means coming out lah, keluar. Right? So itu jari tengah, middle finger, isn't it? Okay, come. So jari telunjuk tadi, your index finger is down. Jari tengah menghadap kita, facing you. So, where is the force? Mana daya dia? Kanan. Macam ni lah jari awak. Kan? Jari tengah sini. Your middle finger is coming out of the plane sini. Okay? Boleh? Make sure you all know class eh. Ini soalan yang popular. You have to know how to use. Kena tahu macam mana untuk guna semua betul-betul ini. All the rules eh. Any questions? Okay. Kalau awak sedang type soalan, you just continue typing, don't worry. Later I will answer, nanti cikgu akan jawab. Let's go to paper 2. Okay, so ini adalah soalan daripada bahagian A. This is a section A question eh. Now let's look at this question. Raja 7.1 menunjukkan motor arus terus, direct current motor. Okay, so dia sudah label semua untuk awak. Now, I want you to try. Okay, you try. Okay, let's read the question. Gegelung 7.1 berputar disebabkan daya yang dihasilkan due to the force that is produced by catapult field. Medan lastik. Remember your catapult field? Okay, anyway, soalan ini kita akan belajar tentang itu. We are going to learn about that in this question, right? Okay, yang terbentuk dalam gegelung in the coil. Nyatakan petua, state the rule that is used to determine the direction of force, arah daya. What do you think? Apa jawapan dia? Very good. Very good. Yes, very good. Left hand. Fleming's left hand rule. Yes. Why? Why? Because again, ada sel kering. Got dry cell. That means bukan arus aruhan kan? It's not induced current, isn't it? Right? It's not. So if it's not induced current, then left hand lah. Kiri. Okay? Fleming's left hand rule. Very good. Okay, now you do B. Kena lukis. Lukis corak medan lastik. I give you about 30 seconds to start. Nanti cikgu akan ajar. I will teach you after that. Here, lukis. Draw and then label the force. The south and north on the diagram. Right is north. Here. See? U and right is north. Left is south. Hmm. Look at the 7.2. It's clear there. Tak payah tengok rajah ini. You don't have to look at this. Don't worry about this. Look at the 7.2. Okay. Memang cikgu suruh pelajar cikgu lukis. Right now, at the time of this class, masa kelas ini, kita tengah buat 4.3 kelas. We are doing 4.3 in the class now. Transformer. We want to learn back transformer, boleh join. Alright, you can join the class. You will also get recording of all the previous classes in the month. Dalam bulan ini, awak akan dapat rakaman dia. That means 4.2 lah, 4.2. Okay, labelkan. Okay, before that, arah lukis daya apa dia medan lastik catapult field. How does the catapult field form? Okay, yang ni jangan lukis dulu, don't draw first. I'm going to draw the two fields separately, dua medan magnet secara berasingan. Yeah, that's right. So, there are two magnetic fields here. Ada dua medan magnet di sini. Okay, the first is the obvious one yang memang jelas-jelas medan daripada magnet kekal, from the permanent magnets. Direction of magnetic field, arah medan magnet adalah sentiasa, is always north to south, utara ke selatan, macam ni. Okay, utara ke selatan, north to south. Okay, so adalah macam ni. Don't draw first, jangan lukis. What I mean is, kalau awak nak betulkan, jangan lukis dulu. If you're correcting your answer, you don't draw first. Okay? Okay, so biasanya lukis 6 lah, 6. Try to space it out evenly. Ini adalah medan magnet seragam, uniform magnetic field. So medan magnet seragam ini, jarak antara garis medan mesti sama. The distance between the field lines must be the same. Not to south, utara ke selatan, kanan ke kiri, right to left. Okay, so ini adalah medan magnet oleh magnet kekal. This is the magnetic field by the permanent magnet. Now, here we have the coil, gegelung, right? Dua sisi gegelung, the two sides of the coil, and this will show us the direction of the current. Ini menunjukkan arah arus. So, as I said, kalau awak nampak pangkah, maksudnya if you see the cross, that means you're looking at the back of the arrow, isn't it? Kita sedang melihat bahagian belakang anak panah, bulu pelepah di atas feather. We are looking from here. That means, mana arah arus? Where's the current? Away from you lah. Menjauhi awak kan? That means masuk ke dalam satah. Going into the plane. Is everybody clear there? Jelas tak? Masuk ke dalam satah. Okay. So what rule do we use here? Kalau kita nak, so sekarang what do we want to find here? Apa yang kita nak cari di sini? We are trying to see what is the direction of apakah arah medan magnet di sekeliling, the magnetic field around, yes, very good. Magnetic field around the current carrying conductor, isn't it? Kita nak kenal pasti arah medan magnet di sekeliling konduktor pembawa arus. So kita pakai apa? Therefore, what do we use? Genggaman tangan kanan. This is where we use the right hand grip rule. Betul tak? Okay, this is where we use the right hand grip rule. So, genggam tangan kanan, right hand, grip your right hand. Thumb is the current. Ibu jari ialah arus. Arus mana? Ke dalam satah, into the plane. Face your thumb away from you. Okay, ibu jari menjauhi awak. Look at your four fingers. Dia melengkung mana? Your four fingers should be curving this way, right? Arah ni kan? Dapat tak? Got it? So that means the magnetic field around here, medan magnet di sekeliling, yes, that's right. Medan magnet di sekeliling sisi sebelah kiri, the left side of the coil, ialah ialah arah jam, clockwise. Clockwise. Okay, di sebelah kanan pula, on the right side, how? Again, right hand grip rule, genggaman tangan kanan, but now you see the dot. Kalau kita nampak titik, maksudnya kita nampak kepala anak panah. You're looking at the head of the arrow. Baru kita nampak titik. That means, keluar dari satah, coming out of the plane. So, very good. So, ibu jari menghala kita. Your thumb facing you. Right hand, Tengok arah empat jari. Arah lengkungan empat jari, how it curves. Anti-clockwise, that's right. Lawan arah jam. Lawan arah jam. Okay. So far, faham? So, ini adalah arah tiga medan magnet yang tidak berinteraksi. The direction of the three magnetic fields that are not interacting separately, secara berasingan. Macam mana kita gabungkan dia? How are you going to combine all of them? Very easy. Senang saja. Senang saja. Tengok bahagian atas. Okey, kita tengok sisi sebelah kiri. Sisi gegelung kiri. The left side of the coil. Look up here. Tengok atas ini. Nampak tak? Arah medan magnet di sekeliling gegelung around the coil and the permanent magnetic field. The magnetic field from the permanent magnet. Medan magnet dari magnet kekal. Nampak tak kedua-dua garis medan ini arah bertentangan. Can you see they in the opposite direction? Atas saja, just at the top. Nampak tak? The permanent magnet right to left, kiri ke kanan. Tapi di sekeliling gegelung around the coil, nampak tak? Can you see at the top here, atas sini, kiri ke kanan, left to right. Dia bertentangan kan? Kalau dia bertentangan, if it is in opposite direction, they will cancel each other off. Dia akan saling membatal satu sama lain. Understand? That means selepas dia berinteraksi, after interacting, atas sini kosong. Here there won't be any fields already. Tak ada medan di atas sini. Kan? Faham? Okay. Same thing happening down here. Bawah sini, nampak tak? Arah dia bertentangan. Opposite, isn't it? Medan kekal sini. This way, what? Right? Opposite direction. Bawah sini, batal. Cancel. Sebab arah bertentangan. Opposite direction lah. Faham? Okay. Then tengok sini. Nampak tak arah sama? Can you see same direction? Kalau arah sama, bila dia berinteraksi, if it's in the same direction when it interacts, it will become even stronger. Dia akan menjadi lebih kuat. Okay? Maksudnya akan ada lebih banyak garis medan di sini. There'll be more field lines here. Understand or not? Sama dengan atas sini. Dia bergabung. Combines. So what does it look like? Okay? Now, skema memang tak standard lah. Setahu cikgu, as far as I know, it's not standardized. So kita guna, you want to be safe. Okay, nak selamat pakai apa yang macam mana buku teks buat lah. Right? So how are we going to draw it? So, padam dulu. You just leave, tinggalkan magnet kekal, the permanent magnet, satu atas, satu bawah. One up and one down. Medan magnet oleh magnet kekal. Okay, the field lines, garis medan dari magnet kekal from the permanent magnet, leave one up, one down. Satu atas, satu bawah. Okay? Then, from the coil, daripada gegelung or from the conductor. Daripada conductor, tinggalkan satu bulatan, one circle. Just leave one circle. Okay, ini adalah medan asal dia. This is all the original fields, without any combination. Can? Okay, yang lain, the rest, you make sure you draw at least two field lines in the middle. Kena lukis sekurang-kurangnya dua di tengah-tengah. Again, this is just some random rule lah. Tak ada mana-mana yang sebut macam tu. There's no marking that specifically says you must have this number of lines. Tapi bagi cikgu, if you want to be safe, nak selamat, guna dua. Jangan guna satu saja. Don't use one lah. You want to use more, can terpulang pada awak, tapi guna dua. So, cikgu akan guna dua. Now, these two class, see how to draw. Again, dia kena, jarak dia kena seragam. The distance must be uniform, Okay, so tandakan di sini. Another two lines in the middle. Sini dan di sebelah sini. Utara dan selatan. The north and the south. You just mark it first. Tandakan dulu. Okay. Okay. You start with the one that is mula dengan okay, up or down is up to you lah. Okay, so kalau kita mula di sini kan. So now kita sudah tandakan mana dia batal, where it cancels. So garis medan jangan lalu di situ lah. The field lines don't pass by these regions. Okay. So from here bengkokkan dia, maksudnya dia tak boleh bergerak ke atas, he has to move down. So dia bergerak bawah sini, naik balik, ah, and then sini. Faham tak? Understand? So originally asalnya dia macam ni. Asalnya dia macam ni. Faham tak? So sekarang dia sudah membengkok. And then draw back the direction eh. Mesti ada arah kelas. Your field lines must have direction. Tak boleh bersilang. They cannot cross. Please make sure your field lines don't cross. Garis medan tak boleh bersilang eh. Okay. Then the same thing here lah. Sama sini. Bawah. Naik. Don't cross. Sini. Ah, inilah medan lastik. This is the catapult field. Boleh? Ada soalan tak? Faham tak? Macam mana untuk lukis? So you just mark, tandakan di sini dulu. Dia it's like the anchor lah. Ha? Tandakan kiri kanan, make sure arah sama same level and then you bend it in the middle. Bengkokkan di tengah-tengah. Tengoklah mana dia batal, where it cancel, where it will become stronger. Mana dia dah jadi lebih kuat. Macam tu. Okay. Any questions here, class? Faham tak? Are we okay? Can eh? Okay, tengok sih. Jadual 3 menunjukkan ciri-ciri motor arus terus, shows the characteristics of direct current motor, RST, yang digunakan dalam pemutar skru tanpa wire. Okay, cordless screwdriver. Okay, so you can see here RS3. Okay, berdasarkan jadual 3, based on table 3, state the characteristics, ciri-ciri motor yang boleh berputar paling laju, fastest. Berikan sebab. State your reason, eh? State the reason. Okay, this one lah. Dua saja. You try first. 2 minutes. Ada format di sini ya, kelas. There's a format here, eh? Hmm. Yes, good. So this is exactly what happens in exam drill class. Cikgu akan bagi masa. I'll give you some time. If you try first, macam buat peperiksaan. That means you cannot refer. Tak boleh rujuk. Buat macam peperiksaan. After the time's up, then kita akan bincang. We will discuss. Kalau perlu, cikgu akan buat ulang kaji. I will do revision also. That's how exam drill class is. Okay? Right now, you should be doing that lah. Ha? Kalau boleh, join. Join the exam drills. 1 hour ni, 1 jam saja setiap hari. Physics is Monday, 9 sampai 10 malam. 9 to 10. Thirty seconds. The reason is the one that is susah lah kan. Memang awak tahu. But how to get the marks? Macam mana untuk dapat markah dia? Okay, come. Yeah, I just realized I missed that. Wait, later we'll go back to that, huh? Yeah, thank you for pointing it out. Okay, tengok si kelas. Look at this first. Bilangan lilitan. So, which one? So, whenever you get question like this, ini sebenarnya adalah soalan bahagian BC, tapi dalam bentuk soalan bahagian A. It's actually your BC question. Characteristic reason, isn't it? Ciri sebab atau ciri alasan, right? But they put it in section A. So how do you answer? Follow the same format. Apa format dia? Jangan guna. Okay, let me ask you. Apa jawapan untuk ini? What's the answer for number of turns of coils? Apa jawapan dia? What did you write? Apa yang awak tulis? What did you write? Okay, good. That's good. Apa yang awak tulis? Bilangan lilitan gergolong. Number of turns of coil. Okay, very good class. Semua tahu format dia. Jangan bagi nilai spesifik. Don't give specific value. Yes, very good. Don't give specific value. Okay, jangan bagi nilai spesifik di sini. Awak kena bagi secara generally. Banyak, can. A lot, a little, sedikit. Okay, banyak ke sedikit ke, can. Alright. Yeah, more. Very good. Ah, kalau 500, tak boleh. Cannot. Cannot. Ratio? Ratio? No, this one is not about ratio. Ratio is only for transformer. Ratio is only for transformer. For motor, it's not about ratio. Right? Untuk motor bukan tentang nisbah dia. Because we are not trying to change the voltage here. Kita tak tukar voltan di sini. Huh? Okay, so this is factor that affects the magnitude of the induced current. Faktor yang mempengaruhi magnitude arus arohan. One of it is number of turns of coil lah. Because you always take note of the goal. Apakah matlamat kita? We want dia berputar paling laju, fastest rotating. That means sorry, I said induced current. These are the factors that affect the magnitude of the force. Faktor yang mempengaruhi magnitude daya. Magnitude of the force, sorry. So number of turns of coil is one of them lah. Bilangan lilitan kalau. So you want a stronger force, we need more or less. Lebih atau kurang bilangan lilitan. Many of you answered more. Lebih lah. More. We need more. Let me tell you why. Kalau satu gegelung, one coil, okay, medan magnet dia yang dihasilkan oleh satu ini sajalah. Kalau dua, if there's two, then there will be a stronger magnetic field, isn't it? Medan magnet lebih kuat kan? Dua ini akan bergabung. Kalau ada tiga lilitan, three turns, stronger. Macam tu. The magnetic field produced by the current carrying conductor will get stronger and stronger with the higher number of coils. Lebih banyak lilitan gegelung, lebih kuat medan magnet yang dihasilkan oleh konduktor pembawa arus. And so this will result in a stronger force. Ini akan menyebabkan daya lebih kuat. Faham tak? Okay. So the answer here should be anything lah. You say many, banyak, more, lebih, whatever you want to use. Skema guna tinggi. The mark scheme uses high. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. More, actually more is more suitable here. Lebih. Lebih banyak lah. Lebih banyak. More. Tinggi. Okay. Sebab dia. What reason do you write here? Apa sebab dia? What did you all write for reason? Higher output voltage. Okay. That one you are getting confused with. Okay. All right. Okay. All your answers, you all are getting confused with induced current. Ini bukan arus arohan. This is not induced current, isn't it? Good try, class. Very good. Very good. This is not induced current, right? Because, why? Because this is motor, isn't it? Motor. Direct current motor. Motor is not induced current. Motor is what? Motor ialah kita bekalkan arus elektrik. You supply the current, so the motor will spin. Motor akan berputar. Betul tak? Whenever you see the word motor, you always remember fan. Bila motor keluar dalam peperiksaan, ingat fan. How does a fan work? Kita tekan switch, you turn on the switch, hidupkan switch, that means kita bekalkan arus elektrik. You supply the current to the fan, isn't it? Then, fan berputar. Betul tak? That is the concept. Okay? Motor always link to fan. Very easy. Senang untuk ingat. Sebab setiap hari kita pakai. Every day you're using fan. Easy to remember. Hidupkan switch, we turn on the switch, that means kita bekalkan arus, you supply the current, dia berputar, it spins, motor. Okay, so this is not induced current, ini bukan arus arahan. What happens is, bila kita bekalkan arus, dia akan berputar, it will rotate. That means, what's the story? Ini cerita dia, the catapult field story. Faham tak? It's the catapult field story. So, kalau ada lebih banyak lilitan gegelung, what will happen? Macam cikgu terangkan tadi lah. So, if you have satu saja, medan magnet dia macam ni saja. But kalau ada two levels. So, medan magnet dia akan menjadi lebih kuat. If you have another turn of coil, satu lagi lilitan gegelung, 3 level, lebih kuat lagi. Become even stronger. Dia akan bergabung dan menjadi lebih kuat lagi. Like that lah, macam tu. Okay, so what is the end goal? Daya yang dihasilkan akan menjadi lebih kuat. Okay. Lebih banyak medan magnet salah. You cannot say lebih banyak. You can say lebih kuat. You can say lebih kuat. Okay. Faham tak kelas? Again ultimately, akhirnya, because kita nak putaran paling laju, the fastest rotation, isn't it? That means dia berputar dengan daya yang dihasilkan. Right? With the force, isn't it? Energy cannot. Must be force. Mesti daya. You see class, if you answer, cikgu boleh betulkan. Very good. Okay? If you answer, cikgu boleh betulkan. Otherwise, you will never know. Good. Okay. So, only two. Medan magnet yang dihasilkan lebih kuat, a stronger magnetic field is produced, or daya paduan yang dihasilkan, the resultant force that is produced, lebih kuat, stronger. The term here is stronger. Dua-dua pun lebih kuat, the magnetic field or the force, both also stronger. Faham? This is the one that is accepted. Ini dia yang diterima. Yes, kalau cikgu, if it's me, insurance always use resultant force, daya paduan. Okay, itu istilah yang digunakan dalam syllabus kita. That's the term that's used in our syllabus. So, I will say use resultant force. But skema ini, let me show you the mark schema. Cikgu tunjuk skema. Okay. Ini jawapan dalam skema. This is the answer of mark scheme. Ini tinggi di sinilah, high here. Kekuatan medan lastik bertambah, strength of catapult field. See, again, it's not just magnetic field. It's specifically the catapult field, medan lastik. Medan lastik ialah inilah apa yang kita lukis tadi. This one. That means the resultant magnetic field. Medan magnet paduan. That's why I say, daya pun guna daya paduan. Jangan guna daya saja. Mungkin diterima, it may be accepted, but don't take the risk lah. Kenapa nak ambil risiko? Daya paduan. Okay, resultant force. Tulisan cikgu memang cakap ayam lah. You cannot understand, you please let me know. Okay, cikgu akan tulis sekali lagi. That's why normally in my class, nota cikgu semua cikgu type. I type everything in my notes. So in my class, you don't have to worry. Memang jelas. Okay, so this is the accepted answer. Okay, Voltan battery voltage. What is the answer? Apa jawapan dia? So again, jangan bagi nilai spesifik. Don't give any specific value, no? Yes, okay. So the question is higher or lower? Higher, tinggi lah. Medan magnet yang tinggi tak boleh. Medan magnet tinggi tak boleh. Medan magnet, apa yang penting ialah kekuatan dia. So, kuat dia tak boleh tinggi. Kuat atau lemah. Kuat atau lemah. Okay. Voltage, high. Yes. Tinggi. Why? Kenapa voltage battery tinggi? Why battery voltage high? Ini akan memberi kesan kepada apa? This will affect what? Supply the motor with high voltage. Yes. Okay, good. But why? Pusingan motor lebih kuat. Pusingan motor tak boleh kuat. Pusingan motor lebih laju. Kan? Ha? Pusingan motor lebih laju. But the force, daya lebih kuat. Daya lebih kuat. Yes, very good. Very good. The main thing is arus. Arus, right? So that the current is stronger. Yes, ultimately so that it's faster lah. Yes. But the direct effect is sebab Voltan tidak akan memberi kesan kepada daya yang dihasilkan secara langsung. The voltage is not going to affect the force directly. What will affect the force? Basically only two things, class. Daya ini adalah disebabkan oleh medan lastik because of the catapult field, isn't it? So only two things form the catapult field. The two magnetic fields lah. Dua medan magnet. Kan? So, kalau medan-medan magnet ini lebih kuat, if the magnetic fields are stronger, then daya paduan dia lebih kuat. The resultant force is stronger. Faham tak? Understand or not? That's the concept. Kalau medan magnet kuat, either medan magnet daripada magnet kekal, either the permanent magnet or the magnetic field around the current carrying conductor. Medan magnet mengelilingi konduktor pembawa arus. Right? Kalau medan-medan magnet ni lebih kuat, daya paduan lebih kuat. Then the resultant force will be stronger. So why we increase the voltage? Kenapa kita meningkatkan voltan? When you supply a high voltage, voltan tinggi, arus tinggi, high current. Okay, stronger current, arus yang lebih kuat. Stronger current, stronger magnetic field. Medan magnet yang terbentuk di sekeliling konduktor pembawa arus lebih kuat. There will be a stronger magnetic field that is formed around the current carrying conductor. Itu sebab dia. That is the reason. Faham tak? Okay. So the reason that you must give here is sebab. So again class, bila kita bagi sebab dia, when you give the reason, you must choose the correct level. Kita nak pilih aras mana? Are you going to say to produce higher current? Arus yang lebih tinggi? Because that is the direct effect, isn't it? Itu kesan langsung dia kan? Increase voltage, increase current. Ataupun kita nak sebut sebab arus tinggi, medan magnet lebih tinggi. Or you want to go one step further, sebab medan magnet kuat, bukan tinggi, kuat Sebab medan magnet kuat because the magnetic field is strong, so resultant force is strong. Daya paduan kuat. Which one do you choose? Semua betul, everything is correct. Mana kita pilih untuk jawapan? You must always go back to ini. Matlamat kita, your goal. What is the goal for our choice? Pilihan kita, akhirnya kita nak apa? Putaran paling laju, the fastest rotation. Itulah matlamat akhir kita. That's the final goal. Right? That's the final goal. So, jawapan yang mana paling sesuai untuk ini? For this, what is the most suitable answer? Force lah. Daya lah kan? The force is the one that's going to determine the speed of rotation, isn't it? Daya yang menentukan kelajuan putaran. Betul tak? Force. Understand? So, skema is exactly the same. Sama. Same. Tinggi, and then same choices. Pilihan dia sama. Kekuatan medan elastik bertambah, strength of catapult field increases. Or force. Daya yang terhasil. So can you repeat the same reason? Most marks, I won't say most, a lot of mark schemes, yes, can. Ada pilihan untuk kedua-duanya. My recommendation, okay, my recommendation. Saranan cikgu ialah jangan. Kalau boleh jangan. If you can, don't. Okay. So kalau jawab arus elektrik lebih kuat, salah. 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 Voltan boleh tingkatkan. Yes, secara tak langsung. Bila voltan bertambah, resultant force. Always use resultant force. Always use resultant force for this topic. For this topic, untuk topik ini. For the motor lah. Voltan bertambah, arus bertambah. Current increase. Current increase, medan magnet bertambah. Kekuatan medan magnet. Magnetic field strength increase. Kekuatan medan magnet bertambah. Kekuatan medan magnet elastik bertambah. Magnetic field. This is the one that causes this. Sini. Understand? Finally, daya menjadi lebih kuat. Stronger force. This is the sequence. Okay? Ini urutan dia. Voltan bertambah, arus bertambah. Current increase, magnetic field stronger. Medan magnet lebih kuat, daya lebih kuat. Macam tu. Okay? Okay. Di sini kelas, tadi kita belum jawab. Thank you for alerting me. Cikgu sudah lupa. Dua. Labelkan arah daya, the force. Now, you don't have to use your left hand Fleming's left hand rule here. Tak payah guna petua tangan kiri di sini. Bila ada medan elastik, memang jelas. When there is a catapult field is very easy. You know what's a catapult or not? Pernah main tak elastik? Semua mesti nakal-nakal pernah main kan? Use the rubber band, gulung kertas, lepas tu kacau kawan dalam kelas. Mesti ada. Mesti ada kan? Sama lah. Lastik dia. Main lastik sama. Medan lastik sama. Catapult. Right? Okay. Yang kat atas. Mana? Wait cikgu jawab soalan ni dulu. So, medan elastik, same. Bila kita lepaskan kertas di sini, when you let go of the paper, dia pergi mana? Where's the force? Here, isn't it? Obviously. Jelas kan? This is where it's going to fly. Di sinilah dia terbang sini kan? So you look here, di sebelah kiri. Mana arah daya? Now you tell me, based on this, where's the direction of the force? Mana arah daya? Down. Nampak tak mana mana gelang getah dia? You see where's the rubber band or not? See where's the rubber band or not? Gelang getah dia sini. Isn't it? Kertas dia sudah ready sini. So, bila lepas, dia terbang mana? Where is he going to fly? Dekat satu lah. Oh, dekat sini. Dia lukis sini? Tak boleh, tak boleh. Mesti lukis sini. Kena lukis sini. Kena lukis sini. Tengok sini. Dalam Rajah 7.2 soalan dia. Dia bermula dalam Rajah 7.2 lukis corak medan elastik. So mesti inilah. Okay. Mesti sini. Okay. So, where is the force? Mana daya? Atas lah. Kan? Can see or not? Nampak tak? Nampak tak dia atas? You all pernah main lastik tak? Don't tell me you never play with rubber band in your life. Kalau belum pernah main, you pergi ambil satu gelang kertas sekarang. You go and take a rubber band from your house now. Boleh, boleh. Tapi tak payah. You see the diagram also, you know already. You go and take a rubber band. Cuba tarik. Pull the rubber band. Lepaskan. That's the direction of the force. Itulah arah daya dia. Understand or not? Faham tak? Okay. So, di sebelah kanan, this one. Mana arah daya? Where's the direction of the force? Tengok mana kita tarik gelang getah weh, you pulling rubber band. Kita tarik atas. Kan? Kita tarik atas. Nampak tak bentuk dia? See the shape or not? Macam ni kan? So, bila lepas mana daya? Where's the force? Bawah, down lah. Boleh. So this one senang kelas. You think kalau sudah ada medan lastik senang. If already got the catapult field is easy. You don't have to use your Fleming's left hand rule. Boleh pakai juga, tak ada masalah. You can use also. But no need. Kita nampak saja sudah tahu kan. Okay. Huh? Please label dengan F So pastikan kalau awak lukis mana-mana garis medan any field lines you must have direction. Mesti ada arah. Mesti ada arah. Okay. And then daya pastikan awak label dengan F, label with force. Make sure show the direction lah. Okay. Okay. Let's move on kelas, tengok sini. Okay. So darjah 23 menunjukkan, oh, look at D. Okay, so apa yang sesuai di sini? We need the highest number of turns of coil, bilangan lilitan paling tinggi dan voltan paling tinggi. Highest voltage that will be, yang mana paling sesuai lah. Which is the most suitable then? Yes. You must remember kelas, mesti ingat there will be question like this. Memang akan ada soalan macam ni dalam bahagian B, bahagian C juga. Section B, section C. That means kita takkan dapat jawapan sempurna. You won't get the perfect answer. Right? Pilih mana yang paling sesuai. You always choose the best answer. So contohnya di sini bilangan lilitan gegelung paling tinggi is R. Highest number of turns is R. Highest voltage, voltan paling tinggi D. So yang mana paling sesuai? Tengok faktor yang lain. You look at the other factors lah. So this one 400, kurang sikit saja. But this one is 5 volts. Right? 5 volt. 5 volt ini kurang daripada separuh. It's less than half. Berbanding dengan 12, right? But 400 is just 20% kurang. 20% less than 500. Right? So, T lah. T paling sesuai. The most suitable. Kan? It is possible. It is possible. Memang mungkin awak boleh dapat soalan macam ni. I know that's why some of you just now, you chose either the lowest bilangan gegelung yang paling kecil ataupun voltan yang paling kecil kan. I'm sure some of you did that. Sebab jawapan dia tak ngam. Isn't it? You want to fit all the answers in one, right? No. No, not necessarily. Tak semestinya. Okay? Huh? Tak semestinya. Okay, come. Look at the next one. 31. Raja 23 menunjukkan two wires that penetrate the same cardboard. Okay, same cardboard. So, what do you notice here? Apa yang kita boleh nampak dalam Raja? What is the most important thing here? Apa yang paling penting di sini? What is the most important thing here? Sel kering, very good. Battery. Maksudnya apa? Current is supplied. Bukan. Because why? Hukum Lenz bila? When do we use Lenz law? Lenz law is for induced current, isn't it? Sebab hukum Lenz adalah untuk menentukan arah arus arohan, betul tak? Is to determine the direction of the induced current in the coil, dalam gegelong ataupun dalam dawai lurus, straight wire. Right? But here, that's why I say, benda paling penting di sini ialah sel kering. So you know, it's not induced current, bukan arus arohan. Ada arus yang dibekalkan, current is supplied. Tandakan dulu arah arus dia. Mark the direction of the current first. Okay, arus mengalir dari positif ke negatif. Current flows positif negatif. Positif keluar. So coming down here, masuk sini. Keluar sini, coming down here, goes back here. Okay, so now, manakah merupakan corak medan magnet yang terhasil? Which is the following pattern for the magnetic field? Which is the pattern? So this one, what do we use? Apa yang kita pakai? What do you use? must be the same. Yeah, yeah, okay. Direction of current must be the same. Arah arus mesti sama. Okay, very good. Very good. So we know A dan C salah lah. Kan? Arah arus tak sama. Direction of the current here is not same, isn't it? Okay. So antara B dan D, which one? Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, you see ya kelas di sini. No, not because it's a cardboard. Di sini, there is no, memang ada dua medan magnet lah. We only have two. There's no permanent magnet, right? Tak ada magnet kekal. So it's not exactly the same as your catapult field. Ini bukan medan plastik macam macam ni. It's not. It's not. Sebab tak ada magnet kekal. There's no permanent magnet. So not. Right? So what do we use here? Since ada arus. Okay, good. It's good to go with your gut if you don't know. Now, look at this. We have a current carrying conductor, right? Ada conductor pembawa arus. So what does that mean? Apa yang cikgu bagi tahu tadi awal kelas, the beginning of the class, this topic, the most important thing for you, the most important concept. Konsep paling penting ialah apabila arus mengalir dalam conductor, when current flows in a conductor, what happens? There is a, when there's current flowing in the conductor, there is, ada apa? Ada apa? Magnetic field around it. Medan magnet di sekeliling dia. Very good. Okay. There's a magnetic field around it. So how do we know the direction of that field? Itu medan magnet itu berbentuk berbentuk bulat. Round lah. Round magnet. Radial magnetic field. Okay. How do we know the direction? Macam mana kita tahu arah dia? How you know the direction? No. How do we know the direction of the magnetic field around the current carrying conductor? Di sekeliling. Yes. Genggaman tangan kanan, right hand grip. This is when we use right hand grip. Kita nak kenal pasti arah medan magnet yang terbentuk di sekeliling konduktor pembawa arus. We want to identify the direction of the magnetic field formed around the current carrying conductor. So, genggaman tangan kanan. Very good. This is where we use your right hand grip rule. So, ibu jari ialah arus. Your thumb is your current. Arus di sini bawah kan? Down, isn't it? So, bahagian atas cardboard ini, look at the direction of the current. Mana arah arus dia? Ikut ke lawan arah jam? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Which is it? Apa arah dia? Ah, yes, ikut arah jam. That's right. Clockwise, isn't it? Clockwise, isn't it? Betul, very good. Very good. Everybody else, are you all okay? Tahu tak macam mana? Genggaman tangan kanan. Grip your right hand. Ibu jari bawah. Thumb down. So look at the four fingers. Atas. Pandang dari atas. Look from up. Mana arah dia? Ikut arah jam kan? Clockwise, isn't it? Hmm. Okay. So how is it going to interact? That means sini, first of all, kita pandang dari atas. When you look from up, that one they should tell you lah. Sepatutnya dia bagi tahu. Dia pandang dari atas. So arus masuk ke dalam SATA, going into the plane. Correct? Okay, masuk ke dalam SATA. And then arah medan magnetic field is like this. Okay. So sini arah jam clockwise. You also clockwise. Arah jam. So how? Macam mana? Nampak tak kawasan tengah ini? Can you see the middle here? Okay, cikgu guna warna yang berlainan lah. Let me use different color. Later you confuse. Okay. Okay, nampak tak? Can you see? Tengah-tengah ni, the middle. Di sebelah kiri dia bawah. But the magnetic field on the right is up. Can see not? Bertentangan kan? Opposite, isn't it? What will happen? What will happen? Arah bertentangan, apa yang berlaku? Yes, cancels out, isn't it? Dia akan saling membatal. Batal lah sini. Ada. Right? Okay. Then, what happened out outside here? Di luar sini macam mana? Outside here, by the way, must be uniform. It's not correct. Okay, but anyway, cikgu nak tunjukkan saja. Outside here, atas sini, you look at the top here. Ini dengan ini. Macam mana dia bergabung? How is it going to combine? How is it going to combine? Adakah dia akan saling menolak? Will it repel? They won't repel. They won't repel. Dia akan bergabung macam mana? So how will it combine? Dia akan bergabung macam ni. Dia akan bercantum macam ni. It will join like this. Nampak tak? See or not? See or not? Macam ni lah. See. So sini batal. Ha. Can. Boleh. So what's the answer? B. Can see it now? That's why awak kena faham konsep lah. This is why you need to understand the concept. Jangan sekadar hafal saja. You have to understand why. Kenapa medan elastik macam tu? Because arah sama dia akan bergabung. Dia akan menjadi lebih kuat. Dia become same direction become stronger. Opposite direction dia batal. Ah, Okay. Itulah konsep dia. Okay, look at 32. Tengok 32. Nyatakan arah putaran apabila switch dihiraukan. State the direction of rotation when the switch is turned on. Try again. Dia tak boleh berselang-seling. Why? Why cannot berselang-seling? Why alternately? Cannot? Because? Very good. Very good. Because? Arus terus. Because it's direct current. Yeah, it rotates in one direction. Because it's direct current, arus terus dan kita ada commutator. You have a commutator. So it is only one direction. Satu arah saja. Okay. How to know? Come. Tengok arus. So the current, nampak tak? Dia sudah, but they didn't label, they should label I lah. Sepatutnya dia label I. So arus masuk sini, going in here. Okay. So dalam gegelung dia sini, and then here, and then here, and then keluar sini lah. Right? Okay. So tengoklah dalam tengok mana medan magnet oleh magnet kekal. Look at the magnetic field for by the permanent magnet here. Sini. Right? Utara ke selatan, north to south. Sini. So ini adalah arah garis, arah medan magnet, the direction of the magnetic field. Okay. So let's look at CD. Tengok CD dulu. Arus dia, where's the current? Here. Masuk ke dalam SATA. Now we want to find the direction of the force. Kita nak tahu apa arah daya. Okay. So what's the direction of the force? How do we find the direction of the force? Macam mana kita cari arah daya? Again, what question do you ask yourself? Apa soalan yang awak kena tanya? Is it induced current? Is it induced current? Bukan. No, not induced current means left or right? Kiri ke kanan? Bukan arus arohan? Very good. Left, kiri. Fleming's left hand rule. Bukan arus arohan kiri. Left. Arus arohan kanan. Induced current is right. Ini bukan arohan because ada bekalan kuasa. Right? Left. Okay, never mind. You'll get used to it. Again, Induce right. Induce right. Okay. Arohan kanan. Left is not induce. Ini bukan arus arahan, left. So, magnetic field is which finger? Jari telunjuk. Index finger. Kiri. Arus current masuk ke dalam sata, away from you. Like this lah. Kan? Like this ah. Your view is like this. Pandangan awak macam ni. Betul tak? Like this. Where's your thumb? Mana ibu jari? Atas. So, kalau sini atas, you look at the other side. Arah medan magnet sama, the direction of magnetic field is the same, but the direction of current is opposite. Arus sudah bertentangan, right? That means the force will just be opposite lah. So, sebelah sini bawah. This side will be down. Ini atas, ini bawah. Faham tak? Understand or not? Okay? Ini atas, sini bawah. So, what is the direction of the rotation? Apa arah putaran? It's like this lah. Kan? Do you see it or not? Nampak tak? Nampak tak? Huh? So, what is this? Apa arah dia? So class, when you see like this, apa pandangan dia for motor and for generator? Untuk penjana dan untuk motor, whenever we say direction of rotation, arah putaran, pandangan kita sentiasa dari sini. Our view is always from here. Okay, our view is always from here, dari sini. So what's the direction of rotation? Lawan arah jam, anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. So, C. Can. Your point of view also important lah. Kita kena tengok dari mana, kita pandang dari mana. Because kalau pandang dari sini, ikut arah jam. You look from here clockwise. But no. We always look from here. Kecuali soalan lukis pandangan dia dari arah yang lain lah. Unless the question draws from a different direction, memang dari sini. Okay? Battery is a component of the motor. Memang kena ada motor dalam, battery dalam motor. Because kita kena bekalkan arus. Right? Under what condition of arrangement will the answer be D ya? Di arah putaran jam dan lawan jam secara berselang-seling. It's not possible. Or rather, there's no normal mechanism like that. Tak ada mekanisme normal yang macam ni lah because it's not useful. But it is possible that it will just be stationary. Pegun, yes. Alternating, no. No, alternating, no. Stationary, yes. But alternating, so if you supply, sini, kalau kita tak guna sel kering, if you don't use a dry cell or a direct current supply, bekalan kuasa arus terus. If you use an alternating power supply, alternating current, arus ulang alik, yes, possible. With a commutator, can. It's possible. Basically, we won't be able to see it in two directions. Faham tak? Kita takkan dapat nampak dia dalam dua arah. We will see it vibrating. Dia akan bergetar. Like that. That's all you will see. Possible. Depends on the frequency lah. Possible. Okay? But it's not normal. It will never be normal. Because it's not useful. Boleh? Can. Okay, class. Actually, cikgu sudah pilih satu lagi soalan for you. This is from section, this is adalah soalan bagian C. It's a section C question. But see, it's already 10:06 esok sekolah. I'm going to end this topic here, but I will do with you. Cikgu akan buat when I'm going to do 4.2. Cikgu akan buat 4.2 one of these days lah. I will do 4.2 questions with you. Kita akan habiskan yang ni dulu. That time you just remind me. We'll finish this first, then we will discuss the 4.2. So you don't do first lah. Jangan buat dulu. Because by the time we discuss, maybe you will forget. Awak akan lupa. Alright. Yeah, I will. I definitely will. You just look out for it. If you got any suggestions, you want me to do any particular topic class, nak cikgu buat topik tertentu, you please let me know. Bagi tahu cikgu. Those of you who are watching the recording, you can comment. Apa topik yang awak nak, I will do. Your information, can? And actually, cikgu tengah buat ulang kaji, I'm doing revision for urine formation now in my bio class. If you want to join that. Okay. Okay, guys. So kelas untuk hari ini itu sajalah. Those of you who want to learn any specific topic, please remember there's always flexi study. Boleh dapatkan flexi study. You can learn any topic anytime. If you want to join my class, you know how to join lah. Right? Just go to the website. Okay. Okay, guys. I see you all in the next class.